I hope, know, believe, and feel like everyone is having a good day so far. We got the full moon in Capricorn. Let the connection get right. We got the full moon in Capricorn. So we're talking about the alchemy. The alchemy with whatever house you have Capricorn in, the moon will be there. So the moon in Capricorn, well, the moon, Capricorn's in detriment in the moon sign right now, so it's in detriment in the 4th house. And we're utilizing the alchemies. These are the houses that you will be using to support with your wisdom, where you go too far, and where you just put yourself to sleep and just ignore altogether. So the ruler of Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn is Saturn. So the detriment, the meanings and reasonings of these phrases are just, the detriment is where a sign has to work its hardest, to manifest or will its energy together. This placement will be in the 4th house, the detriment. The exaltation is where an energy is very ramped up, very energized, very ready to go. It has all the tools and accessories and weaponry and, items that it needs to experience or to given the modality to initiate, fixate, or compromise and relate with others on. The fall is where the energy is asleep at. It's in a meditative state. It feels in this position that if it adds anything, then it might, it doesn't feel in alignment. So it has to go into this meditative like space to rest, do shadow work, receive energy through the meditative space. So for Capricorn in the 1st house, this is, initiating a new way to set the foundation, lay the foundation with your personal expression, your personal vices, personal people, places, and things that you use or that use you. If you don't mind, I'm going to take my shirt off in a little bit. It's getting a little hot to be doing this outside. Might have to film this from the neck up, I ain't gonna lie. Respectfully. But you'll be utilizing the 4th house. So this is the moon, the emotions. This is going to be traditions and feeling comfort and your private matters where people don't see, where people don't shine the light. But this is where you manifest. You using the 4th house in detriment. Use the wisdom that you gain by using your traditions and your moral system, or how your family uses you and pushes you and pressures you to like go to school and things of that nature. But as far as your personal interests, things that you do that is in the public eye that you personally choose to express via the energies, this is the 4th house. This is where you're using your wisdom. This is where you're working extra hard with your roots, doing shadow work, generational trauma work, healing, inner child healing from the 4th house. 7th house, Capricorn, Saturn can go too far with being restricted or having boundaries placed upon relationships, bringing balance to relationships. So this is initiating. This isn't just fixed air signs about our own relationships, our own communication. This is initiating. So maybe sticking our nose in other people's businesses. You might go too far here. So look at one-on-one relationships and contracts in comparison to utilizing that excess energy, that extra energy, and that exaltation. Yeah, it look hot. Utilizing, I appreciate y'all. I just like to be out in nature. You know what I'm saying? Like summer is gonna be getting on my nerves the more mature we get. But yeah. Utilizing the 7th house, exaltation, go too far. Don't go too far in your relationships, but actually go too far you could go too far with this excess energy and bring it to your 1st house. What you're personally interested in, what you personally express. So you could be personally expressing it ain't Mercury. It's opposing Mercury and Venus right now, so it ain't talking or compromising. But it's a Mars. It's a Mars ruled. This house is ruled by Mars. So, and Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So Capricorn kind of likes to be here already. You're also utilizing. Oh, Capricorn is exalted in Mars. Mars rules the first house, but it also Saturn also falls in Mars. So also it's like it's funky, it's weird, it's different. Let's go down here. It's weird. It's exalted in Capricorn, which rules the first house, but also Saturn is in detriment. Falls in Aries in the first house. So you feel very restricted, like utilizing those boundaries and restrictions in one-on-one relationships to you that are subjective to you and not necessarily objective. Being fulfilled with your status of being known for, your values, your finance. Let's just cut off that Wi-Fi so we don't have those pause issues. So you're bringing balance in your one-on-one relationships, in your way of relating to others and setting boundaries for people not to cross. You don't want to cross those boundaries also in your second house. So utilize more boundaries and restrictions and more one-on-one relationships where you're relating and you're learning from the mistakes of others, but not sticking your nose in other people's businesses, as well as utilizing the excess energy. Now, utilizing the wisdom from your home, your traditions, your family values, because value still goes hand in hand. This is why it's a sextile between Taurus and Cancer. But utilizing your fourth house, full moon fulfillment, as far as being in financial abundantly aspects, as far as your past, your family, your roots, the pressure being applied to you. You're working extra hard. Utilize these wisdoms and the frustrating environments that you use to remain consistent and not get stuck and stubborn, because it's Taurus second house. Utilize your first house, where it's asleep at, to wake up your personal energy, take your personal power. This is where the habits and the traits of checking your emotions, checking your intent, checking your mentality when it comes to spending money or relating with others, to keep up an image as far as spending money. Don't sleep on those things. Don't be too unconscious. Meditate on these things, though. Utilize the awareness that you may be sleeping in this area. Capricorn full moon in the third house. Manifesting your status and your reputation within your environment, your limited environment. Jupiter and Gemini you would have Jupiter and Gemini. This houses would be opposing your third house right now, when the moon's still in Sag, in the late degrees of Sag. Utilize your one-on-one relationships to see how you're relating to your environment, how you and someone else manifested this environment, or over manifested this excess of abundance, where you just were looking at materials and things that you could set up to use to fill up the space of the environment to make it feel like a larger world than it actually is. Utilize that energy. Fourth house, your roots and your traditions. Don't feel stuck or stagnant in your environment. Utilize where your work is so hard for. You are trying to, it ain't about the victory or the success, it's about the journey. So utilize the journey, your journey, and not travel in the third house environment. Utilize the work that you've put in to lay claims. Put your statuses, put your stamps on that. You never know what local news company or a local newspaper or your local paper boy that goes to college and expands and builds a company, and then he remembers, or comes back home to visit your environment. You have your status, you have your report, and that being enough for you, that fulfillment, that full moon energy being enough to fill your cup. That way you can take the first house, Aries house, where it's falling and it's asleep, to wake up or to utilize the energy that you're sleeping on and be aware of, while this Aries energy, while this personal energy of being my personal self in this environment. Wow, you never know what other people are personally into, or their personality, or as much as the environment, like the park a few blocks away, it could be an objective park, but the way you manifest it, it could be subjective. Capricorn in the drop the house you have Capricorn in. I see everyone's in the chat. Waves. Drop the house you have Capricorn in. Drop the house you have Capricorn in. Because we can also talk about the house you got Aquarius in, since Aquarius is co-ruled by Capricorn, the Capricorn ruling planet. Capricorn in the 4th house, full moon in Capricorn in the 4th house. Already in detriment, already at work, already working. Shout Samira, official 9. Capricorn 5th house. I got Capricorn in the 5th house. These are generational planets. So I'm working up. I'm close to that too. Capricorn in the 4th house is wisdom and your wisdom. You always are working to receive a rapport. This is being in someone's shadow. Or your family shadow, or your family business's shadow, and expanding with your personal interests or personal beliefs or whatever energy you have in the 1st house, utilizing your personality, your personal expression, your personal ingenuity, and relating that to your family. You might be able to shift the family business in another direction. You might be able to influence your family, your father, your mom and pop shop type energy to update this with your personal swing, your personal expression, your personal identity, your personality, convincing them through that, you know what I'm saying, through that waking that up, or through that going into that repressed energy, because it's asleep, it's falling, you know what I'm saying, it's at its weakest point. But when the only way from the bottom up is up, you know what I'm saying, you gotta let go of that weight that's keeping you down and float to the top of your 4th house, floating. Shout out famous Malo. I just did the 1st house, I just did the 2nd house, but for you I'll jump back. Capricorn in the 2nd, your finances, your values, your relatability. This is status and reputation. Some people might know you for having money or overusing your money or things of that nature. This is what you might be known for, or you might feel that people know you for. And I say feel because the Cancer Sun. Utilize your 1st house, your personal expression, your personal being aware of your personality, and when you're spending that money, you're spending that bread, you're laying those boundaries. You're like, hey, how do I feel when I spend this money? What's my intent in making this budget? What's my mentality? Am I overstimulated? Am I understimulated with spending this money? Famous Malo. This is for famous Malo, y'all. And 7th house, using that excess energy with one-on-one relationships to narrow down, trace down that direct link to you might be. It's like Virgo. It's like detailed, but it's not. It's Taurus. It's your own house and things and materials. So, tunnel vision with that energy of, do you spend this much money when you're with someone else? Do you feel this much more encouraged when you're with someone else? Utilize the excess energy to bring balance or to initiate that talk of your status and relating to other status. And the 4th house, your home and tradition, your family, what you value, what your finances are. Did your family talk about money? Did they not talk about money? Did they invest into businesses? Did they not invest into businesses? Now, we're still in the 4th house. One-on-one relationships. Have that one-on-one relationship with one of your either your mom, your dad, your uncle, private life, an authority figure behind closed doors, or a status figure for you behind closed doors that you're emulating, or you might be in the shadow and utilize your own personal expression to change that family business, change that family tradition on something that it could be profitable and make money off of, or be known for as far as a legacy or a lineage and things of that nature. Capricorn in the 5th house. Samara, if you're still in here. Capricorn in the 5th house. I got Capricorn in the 5th house. So full moon Capricorn in the 5th house. This is being fulfilled in your status and reputation and what you're known for, or your purpose as far as family, children, entertainment, your own creativity and the artistic side of things in that nature. Because, for me, my status is my family, and integrating that more on my TikTok. Go follow my TikTok, Etherical, ETHERICAL _ Moss, MOSS. I got 3 accounts: Etherical _ Moss, Etherical _ Moss 1, and Etherical .Moss. So follow me on my accounts. You can see the example of that. Not too much, get too much about me. I got 5th house opposing my 11th. If you're a 5th house, that means you're a Virgo ascendant, and that means you probably got Cancer like I do in the 11th house. But I got Sun, Moon, and Venus. So like my way of caring about my associations is making them more too much like family. But having Saturn in my 7th house is more of that energy of working on one-on-one relationships and having that deep, intense energy with Pisces there, grounding that's dreams and imaginations and delusions. And then the 3rd house being the environment. But yeah, Capricorn in the 5th house. Utilize that 7th house, that exaltation, that excess energy to basically questioning like, okay, it's my status that is attached to the things that I'm entertained by, or personal development too, or personal development as a sense of enjoyment and entertainment. Using that energy in the 5th house, utilizing your personal expression, you can personally express that, hey, I'm this energy is using me today. What I'm entertained by has something to do with etc., etc. Like me being entertained by a funny reel about someone's freaking business is what is, I'm at peace because I can boom, 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 use that as a status, tie myself to that, attach myself to that, but not be overly attached to that, initiating a new way to communicate or bring balance to what you're entertained by. That way you're not overindulging. But as far as like children stuff, it doesn't just relate to the babies, it relates to the children thoughts, the children feelings that are being youthfully it's like a first decan cancer, you know what I'm saying? All about status, all about reputation, how it's seen, just by being practical, you know what I'm saying? Because seen is a detachment. How people see you, that's their business. You don't have to care about whatever. But when you want people to recognize you for your reputation and your entertainment, then you have those energies floating around there, and you utilize your personal energy to wake up to your personal, what you're personally into, and you use the 7th house, the exaltation, and in the 4th house, coming from the 4th house, coming from family, coming from making light, transmuting the privacy energy into, you say, all good jokes contain true shit. So that's basically that. All good jokes, all private jokes, all your private traditions that you express to others, that you joke, that you play off, transmuting family trauma or history through via the internet, social media, things of that nature, and being fulfilled in that space and letting that cup sit with that cup of entertainment, those emotions, but moving them around, splashing them around a little bit due to its caring nature, and it can feel uncomfortable because the moon's already in detriment and opposing the sun. But utilize that carelessness to really detach, and people are going to see you how they see you, but take care of you and the things that you're using and are being used by at the end of the day. We got Capricorn, 5th, 12th house. I ain't forgot Cardinal. We'll wrap that up in the end. Capricorn in the 6th house. Capricorn in the 6th house is I might do a part 2. It's 11 o'clock. It's getting kind of hot. I gotta cut the grass. So I'm gonna do a part 2 in the few. Part 2 in the few. But we'll see. I might just knock these last ones out. Capricorn in the 6th house. Capricorn in the 6th house. What you're known for, your habits you're known for, your habits that you're using. Are you abusing certain substances for your health? Are you abusing certain statuses? Or certain habits for your swells? Capricorn full moon. Are you using certain habits and vices to take care of yourself and others and make sense of these things? Capricorn, utilize the 7th house, the exaltation in one-on-one relationships. Your one-on-one relationships, are you being known for mentally taking care of yourself and setting boundaries? Utilize the excess energy and balancing your relationships and the restrictions that come with just certain conversations, not letting people too close in, but keeping it up in the air so that the energy can move around. Utilize your 1st house, your personal expression. You personally express yourself as giving criticism to others. Wake up to your personal critiques and criticism, because this could be subconscious or recessive things that you aren't paying attention to. With your full moon, with your emotions. 6th house, that's the fall. 4th house, routines and habits related to mental health, mental stems, touching your face, habits, scratching, biting your nails, things from your family that are triggers, that are alerts, that are redirecting your anxiety and your energy about your status and your reputation. Are you anxious about everything that you do, people seeing it and utilizing that, aka over excess of the 7th house, exaltation? It doesn't always mean it's the best energy. Capricorn in the 7th house. I didn't even get my Crocs out of the bathroom, y'all. So I would have to go inside anyway, so go get my Crocs off and cut the grass. Capricorn in the 7th house. This is an exaltation. Don't go too far with opening your mouth and lying and being two-faced or being over-polarized or too passive with how you are seen and the things that you're known for as far as just relationships, or trying to go too far and being a marriage counselor or relationship counselor for your best friend's baby's mama, trying to be a shoulder to cry on so that you can get in there and get out, utilizing because you're unaware, because you didn't watch this video, this live, because you weren't in that space. As far as, the things that you're personally speaked on or you're personally expressing yourself that you're sleeping on, being fulfilled and going too far in these categories and avenues. Utilize your 4th house, your family traditions, and your private home and your private relationships. Utilizing your families, your mother, your father's relationships. Was it healthy? Was it balanced? Or was it chaotic? Or was one more worried about the status of the family as a whole versus the status of being the husband, the status of being the father? I didn't even get the Crocs. Versus the status of being the father, status of versus being the good fucking human being behind closed doors, taking care of the traditions. Capricorn, the 8th house. Manipulative or hidden desires for your status and reputations about the dark occult. People recognizing you for minding your own fucking business and not wanting to get them fucking evolved into that aspect and avenue. Being private. Utilize your 1st house to think that you're personally sleeping on, aka this is 8th house energy, what you're personally sleep on or unaware of I'm trying to get my Crocs. That you're personally unaware of to transform or take power control tonight over these desires. You're not letting the desires be a status that's known for you. You want to be in there, be in there. Don't go too far with these relationships. Being manipulative in relationships to manipulate a status about yourself related to others, because you already are having a balance and being diplomatic, having diplomacy about this, but this is square in energy. This is square in Libra energy. So don't be out here trying to manipulate a situation for you to be seen one way. Tricking yourself out your position because you might care for something, genuinely care about it, and then you get wrapped up and lost into that bullshit. As far as trying to be seen, try to be balanced, trying to be too fair, trying to see both sides, because you are slept on what you personally align yourself with, how you personally express yourself. And so you don't know how people would take that boundary. You know what I'm saying? You're personally align with your boundary, so you don't know how people would take that energy. Utilizing your 4th house, private, desires, manipulation in the home. Capricorn in the 9th house, expanding on your higher education as far as how to get yourself known. Utilize your 7th house, your relationships, your status with other people. Look at this big ass branch. Y'all see that big ass branch? It fell. It ain't the only one that fell. Who we still got up in here? Carl, I know you still waiting on your 12th house reading. We flying through these energies because people are leaving. And sometimes these longer videos don't like to stay. But yeah. Capricorn, the 9th house. Utilizing the 7th house, the excess in the 7th house to gain polarization. Polarization. This is a good place you would love to use this 7th house excess energy, because you got different perspectives, points of views. This helps with being relatable. 7th house is 6th house to the 9th house. Anyways, so yeah, having a good, peaceful harmony and relationship with yours and others' belief systems and morality and higher education, with the relationship and balancing this out as far as your status and your reputation, so that you can, it's like the separation of the church and the state. It's like that kind of separation and that kind of separative energy that you create those where these boundaries are coming from in that space, for real. And utilizing your 4th house, Jupiter's exalted in the 4th house, so this is a great touch add-on to as far as expanding your home and privacy, feeling comfortable with your private life. And you can wear your traumas, generational traumas, or if you didn't have any, like you just got generational curses that may not have touched you, and it's just a traumatic situation that you can easily, as you are bringing balance and expanding on your horizon, your education, you're learning so much more about these things that you can transmute that energy via utilizing the fall house that Saturn falls in your 1st house that you might be unaware of, and being aware of it now. Be aware of that now, this full moon. So I'm saying that you're unaware of, but it's the full moon. So you're either going to feel fulfilled in this area or you're not. And then that's going to be your tip for your awareness. So Saturn, you have the exaltation, the excess energy for relationships, harmonious relationships, and bringing balance and being polarized to generate that status, to expand on that status. And it means the reason it's the moral systems of things that you are unaware of in your 1st house, your personal expression and your personal interest, to I'm getting so much better at this communication thing with this Jupiter and Gemini. But you like your 1st house, the things you're unaware of, to gain a higher education, the standing and the knowing of. And utilizing your 4th house of, saying the wisdom from your family, asking your family this full moon, spend some time with your family, as far as seeing where your areas of your cup. Oh yeah, shout out Vogo Problematica. Drop the house you got Capricorn in, and I'll do your one reading. Capricorn in the 10th house, utilizing your 7th house to gain. Capricorn and Saturn. Saturn is at home here in the 10th house. So this is, regardless if you got Saturn in Capricorn or not, Capricorn is Saturn ruled, and this is predominantly, like I said, about the exaltation, detriment, and fall of Saturn in the aspect utilizing the alchemy. So wherever house you have Saturn in, that's what I'm just doing. If you got Saturn, even if you don't have Saturn and Capricorn in the 1st house, if you got Saturn in the 1st house, you can utilize this. So Capricorn in the 10th house, utilizing your relationships to bring balance and harmony to the things that you're known for, because it's going too far. Excess, bringing that harmony versus just that harsh, restrictive Saturnian energy where it restricts you into a box, where you box where you're building blocks for people to stand on, but then you box yourself in, and then as you keep building, you keep digging the hole, and the dirt keeps getting taller and taller and taller, where people have a reputation and status for you via a dirt pile that you left, like, oh, he was working here, he was going deep here, but meanwhile you're in the hole and you're unable to get out, get pigeonholed like in the acting roles. So you lost that first house of being unaware and submerge yourself in that hole where you feel like you might not be able to get out of because you're sleeping that energy, and use that and wake that energy up for the first house to express your personal experiences, so that people are aligned and aware with that what you are and who you are outside of those status and reputation. And also utilize that fourth house, home and family, for the wisdom that you have in bringing your family together. You can bring a family together as far as a business or a reputation, or what you do outside of your home, what you do outside your reputation. You utilize that wisdom and transmute those energies into the more positive aspects that you can use infinitely for now. This might be some good firewood, but it's wet as fuck, so probably not. Capricorn in the 11th house. I'm about to cut some grass. Capricorn in the 11th house. We're almost to you, Cardinal. Capricorn in the 11th house. This is your status and reputation amongst your associates, not just worldwide, but amongst the people that you're rubbing shoulders with. Associations. So people are bouncing around their different groups, and don't take that personal. Just utilize that fourth house as like if your father or your mother was always at work and they always had associates, and you always had a nanny, you always had a babysitter, or you always had some summer camp that acted as the parental role for your association. Shout out Tommy Painted or Painite. Tommy Payne, alright? Tommy I Payne, alright? I'm playing with the names. Wave to y'all. Drop the houses y'all got Capricorn in if y'all interested. Drop comments down below. You can share this, please, if you would. Or if you got some content that I could share for your story, allow me, because I want to be more balancing out these polarities. See, I got Cancer in the 11th house. But we're talking about Capricorn in the 11th house. But yeah, I genuinely care about my associates, and I'm a stay-at-home dad. That's my purpose. My baby's on my purpose. So when I'm on Instagram, I genuinely post and hop back off. I don't mean to not see posts or not to scroll or not to go to anyone's page, because I care to gain knowledge and wisdom, experience, and spirituality. So comment this below, share, tag me so I can see your page, so we can expand and grow together, and we can get through in this algorithm. Because the algorithm really don't fucking matter, but it's about, you know what I'm saying, your own experiences that you are having and making it work for yourself. So Capricorn in the 11th house, utilizing your fourth house. Like I said, your parents that may be at work, you may be more predominantly aware with your nanny or your babysitter and things of that nature. So align with that energy. Utilize your 7th house, that excess energy for one-on-one relationships, to have a better intimate partnership, and to have long-standing, long-lasting polarities and balances and convos about the state and affairs of things. Utilizing that cardinal energy for this trine energy with associates, generating your own mentality or your own relative mentality and things of that nature. Capricorn in the 12th house. Cardinal is for you. Capricorn in the 12th house. You are utilizing the first house is like right there on the circle of that. So utilizing the exaltation of your relationships, or your dreams and imaginations in your relationship, being known for your dreams and imaginations, being very creative in relationships, utilizing that excess energy to pull that polarity, that balance, those relationships, those one-on-one contracts and long-lasting ones, and initiating a conversation that, you know, you may initiate it in a more creative, delusional, or magical or trippy kind of way, you know what I'm saying? But that 7th house will be there to even that out with that excess energy, that excess assist, even though it's an in conjunction between, what's the in conjunction of? Aries. Yeah, it's an in conjunction there, so it might be a misunderstanding of collective love and communication as far as your status and what people like love about you and your status. So be sure you utilize the 7th house boundary to not be deceptive. Utilize your 4th house, your parents' advice. They're giving advice. Capricorn, 12th house, this Capricorn in the 12th house, this is giving, parents in the 4th house that are very strict, very structured, very practical. I say very practical. They supported your dreams and imaginations, but there came a point in time when you had to grow up or realize that your parents might have been just giving you, being a crutch for you, overly supporting your dreams and imagination, when the real world, the real reality of it is completely different. But you utilize that 7th house of having that one-on-one relationship with someone that actually gets you and understands you and is bringing that harmonious and balanced energy with you, and is waking up that dormant personal self-expression to where you have a dream and imagination of how people might see you, or you being over worried about the love and their feelings of how they might see you. Wake up that motherfucking personal Martian expressive energy and just get it the fuck done. You feel me? The Capricorn in the 12th house and the full moon in all these houses being fulfilled or unfulfilled. And these areas, these are the houses that you can look to sit in, to meditate in, to journal in, and to, like I said, plant, release the seeds, and let the petals fall. So appreciate y'all. Comment down below. I really would like to see more of your comments, get more in the algorithm. I post more like these as far as parenting tips and things of that nature. Just comment down below. And yeah, we're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna cut this grass. And share this live. And comment down below the house you got Capricorn in. And everyone interact with everyone. That's mandatory. Everyone interact with everyone. Because it's the most interaction you get. And there'll be no in-person, in-house type shit. Because it's your associations. That's what full moons and Capricorn is about. Using the status, reputation, and presenting a type of way. You understand? You understand and understand.
Finish the grass.
No, I'm on live. Is your phone about to die? But yeah, peace. Yeah, you were hurt.